Damn music, when I look upon these words, time immediately begins to freeze. Well, we're so blunt and powerful, stinging like a bee.
That's it. Good job. Just do it again.
Damn music, when I look upon these words, time immediately begins to freeze. Well, we're so blunt and powerful, stinging like a bee, insightful enough to touch every mind. I hope you don't mind, but it's starting to get deep, very deep in my heart. Needs to be torn apart right now. Got your stone on the ground before it starts to have a meltdown.
Or you could do like, or you could just be doing a hook that isn't talking to music, but it's talking to like, you listening?
Well, it starts during the hook, so watch it about the music.
So it can be like you're talking to the audience about why music is so important to you.
Courtney's been involved with the program since she was 7 or 8 years old. Now she's in 6th grade. And when she was younger, she always wrote poetry. And she always was writing stories. She was always a very articulate writer, very well-spoken, very mature for her age. And when she heard about the hip-hop program, she was extremely intrigued. And she started writing lyrics right away. And we never even had to really teach her how to write lyrics. She just sort of wrote lyrics in her own way and adapted her poetry into lyrics.
Music, and then you can say dear music again, and that'll make it hard. You can be like, set me free, dear music, give me the power to be me, dear music. Dear music. Records, 8 tracks, cassette CDs, MP3s, that's how it's gotta be.
Records, 8 tracks.
Records, 8 tracks, CDs, MP3s, 8 tracks, cassette CDs.
In my opinion, she has a lot of potential. She's just so scared. Like, everyone's scared when they're first doing it. It really is. But, like, once you hear it, once it's all mixed and mastered, you'll be like, damn, that sounds great.
Yeah.
And then once you have that okay, I sound great doing this, I'm gonna keep going and keep going. She really has a lot of potential.
Fernandez, he joined the program last summer. He was the only one in the program who had any experience actually with rhyming before. So some of the other kids had experience with music and production. He was the only one who had actually laid down vocals on tracks prior to joining the program. Really good at writing choruses and hooks. Just really smart. He understands what catchy is, and he knows how to do it. Always had a positive, strong message in the things that he would rap. And the kids really looked up to him, and he took the leadership role and ran with it.
For me, when I'm writing verses, like, it just has to like happen. I gotta play it out. I gotta have a scenario, like what's gonna happen in the middle, what's gonna be the ending, how does this end up?
Yes, you are witnessing the power. Music in my mind all the time. When I spit like there is no tomorrow. Check it out. We the young masters of hip hop. Nobody can hate us. That's all I got.
Okay.
Put it back.
Bring it back.
Let him go on the microphone so he seems professional.
Solo the beat out. Records were cool. 8 tracks were not cool. Cassettes were not cool. CDs were cool, and MP3s are really cool. Cool. Yeah, I guess they look cool. They look perfect. But you can't pick your track. So on a record, you can figure out how to play your track right away.
Before I joined the program, I would make, I learned how to make beats before I joined the program, but I didn't rap at all, like no rap, right? I mean, ever since I joined the program, my little brother, he would be like, hey, you're a rapper now. You should start listening to hip hop. You should start listening to other things. And I'm like, yeah, good point. All right, so I'll listen to other things. So, I listened to more Biggie. I actually did not know Biggie's famous song, Juicy, until a month ago. I didn't know it. He showed me, and I was like, wow, that's a great song. I love the words and everything. It's a great.
Like, I was like shocked. Like, this dude is so talented. Like, Genesis is talented, but I'm wondering, like, who is he inspired by? And I said, yo, you ever heard this song? He said, no. I was like, what? What? You haven't lived until you've heheard that song.
Oh my God. One of these times you're going to rap. One of these times everybody's going to spit a verse.
Sorry, we don't be chilling, think about music and I'm sitting with my life as a boy and messages. Keep me status, mountain town, and startle, and I'm almost a career. I'm a stay beat at the center, hide open ears. And when music's made, I don't think about the medics. I've been killing 30 degree. I'm like a hungry dog, if I look up for some pedigree, look up for the buffalo, always nowhere like to celebrate. I've been killing beats, rappers, keeping your memory.
So I remember one day, we were in the studio, right, and we were talking, And then he was like, hey, put Risky Business, which is the name of the song. So then I put it on, and he was like, he was rapping it to himself, you know. And then I was like, oh, this isn't a nice beat. I love this beat. It's great. What? Right? And he's like, hey, why don't you get on this? I'm like, okay. So that, like at that instant, I just went up to the mic and I was like, ba 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 ba. That's my verse. We heard it. At the end, he was like, ah.
Yeah, I screamed.
Which is the
part?
yeah.
Recording, and then it just ended
Great.
off perfectly. But Darren deleted it. And I was like, why? But that's how it happened. Like,
What do you guys think? We were saying that her hook can either continue to be how you guys are talking to music, or you can do the hook about the role or how important music is to you. And then so you break from the dialogue of talking to the music, which is what all three of your verses do, and now you're talking to the audience, like, here's why I'm making this song to music. You know what I mean? So it's really up to you how you want to go with that. Do you want to continue the approach of talking to music, or do you want to take a break from that every time we get to the hook and explain its importance? So what do you think? You're on the song too. You like both of them?
I like both of
You
them.
like both ideas?
I like both ideas.
So then what do you, I mean, you gotta pick one though, right?
I'm sorry,
Or
I
unless
was-
you want a bridge.
How about we make two?
Okay.
Alright,
So let's
okay.
do it.
I'm sorry.
But just in the very beginning, when we started teaching them the history of hip hop and where it came from, the appreciation for the art got better and better and more, and they became more and more conscious consumers and understanding and really trying to get to the bottom of the messages of the songs they were listening to, regardless of how complicated or simplistic they may be. And then branching out, we transform, hopefully through the ambassadorship of these kids going out there, we transform the image of hip hop in our society as a whole and recognize all the good that is out there in hip hop instead of focusing so much on the negative.
My parents, when they found out that I did rapping during the summer, they were like, what? What are you doing? Why are you doing that? That's not holy. That's not good. That's bad. That's not good. And then he saw me on CCTV rapping at the, where was
City
it?
Hall.
City Hall on CCTV. He's like, is that you? I'm like, yep, that's me.
honestly, hip hop started dying like early 2000s. Honestly, hip hop won't be the same from 1980 to from 1999. Within that era, the Attitude Era was amazing. These dudes were talking about real stuff, like seeing killings on the streets, police brutality, seeing prostitutes, gangsters, pimps doing everything wrong. But now you got dudes like Lil Wayne saying, "Oh, I'ma kill you if you don't give me my money." Like, the only person Lil Wayne has ever shot was himself. He was playing with his gun and he shot himself.
That true?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I don't know
It was when he was
nothing.
younger. He shot himself. I think it was like in his chest or in his neck. None of these rappers are really doing what they're talking about. So when I see that stuff on TV commercials, I'm not saying, like, I got heated when I first saw things like that. But now I don't think about it because these dudes ain't doing what they're saying. It's affecting the community in a horrible way. Mainly because when I told my mom I like rapping, what she automatically thinks about, unfortunately, is dudes like Lil Wayne and Chief Keef.
Hip hop does have a negative image in the media for sure. Hip hop was something that started in community centers and parks in New York City. It was really about people uniting and joining together for something positive. Since then, it's taken a negative spin, and a lot of mainstream hip hop has, very negative lyrics that sets a bad image for hip hop, which ultimately causes hip hop music to be disrespected in mainstream society. Like 98, 99% of the people out there who make rap music do it for a positive reason. And it's the top 1 or 2% that get put on the radio all the time that represent a different lifestyle.
Here's the problem. I have a problem with all of this, okay? When you use someone's success to measure their skill set, it's not a good barometer. Because if money is the root of all evil, but yet we're basing who the best rapper is on how much money they make or how many records they sell, what does that say? There's 100 other rappers that I would rather hear before any of those guys. You know what I mean? I'd rather hear Rex. Rex, who's probably my favorite rapper, like live right now rapping. I would rather hear him. People don't care anymore. They're on to one thing and then they're on to the next, they're on to the next, they're on to the next. You see how we live in like little microseconds now? Everybody wants everything like this. So the rappers are merely imitating the society that they live in, and you can't hate on these guys because people don't celebrate stuff anymore like they used to.
Hip hop, I feel like most kids, especially the ones who don't live in like the situations that most rappers do. For example, Tupac, he was a thug, right? Maybe some kid who heard his music, he's not a thug, and he's just like, hey, this sounds really cool. But then later on, it just turns into new rappers just being like, hey, I shot someone, but you didn't.
But when I look at guys like that, they're giving that, they're selling that image because that image sells.
Because here's the thing, when hip hop originated, which was like 1970s or whatnot, they were still talking about how they're living, what they have to do to live, what they have to do to survive. We're in 2014. I don't know any rappers that are really talking about, like, yeah, they're talking about how they're living, they gotta sell drugs and whatnot, but like these are dudes that went to college. Like, for example, Lil Wayne, he went to college. 2 Chainz, he went to college. He graduated with a 4.0 GPA.
He did?
Yes.
2 Chainz went to college.
2
Jeez.
Chainz went to college.
Wow.
He graduated with 4.0 GPA. And he's talking about how he had to sell drugs. Like, why are you selling drugs if you graduate at the top of your class? Just put the pieces together, fam. Like, you got a great education. Go out there, get a job. Why are you doing this? But I mean, like, he turned out to be successful. Yeah, he's making a lot of money, but still, like, stop publicizing the bad things, because it just doesn't make any sense. I don't know. That's just me. That's how I think it's changed.
People don't care, dude. People have been desensitized. So what is it to lie to somebody? Everybody's liar. Nobody tells the truth anymore. And if your music or your art ain't the truth, then it's a lie? Who cares? When everybody's lying to you, what's one more lie? The bad part is, when you tell those lies and you start believing them yourself, and you're Rick Ross, and then real gangsters that have nothing want to shoot you, that's a bad place to be. So there you have it.